In this video, I'm going to share with you some consistent strategies that you can use to increase the communication with parents at your school site if you work in education. My name is Rosanna Hernandez and I write for efficiencyandorganization.com. I'm also a public school administrator and a former teacher. Parent involvement, parent engagement is so important to us, right? When we're in education, we strive for that. We want our parents to be involved. We want them engaged in the things that the kids do, because it's been shown time and time again that when engagement is strong and when involvement especially is strong, kids get higher grades, they have better social emotional skills, they get along better with other kids, behavior issues are far less. In the past 20-30 years especially, there's been a big push by school districts to try to get more parents to be engaged, involved, because see, the former school of thought used to be that we didn't want parents involved. We just said, you know what, just let the school deal with what the school does best, educating the child. But the last couple of decades, things are changing. We want the parents to be more involved, to know what's happening so that they can help the kids when the kids go home. Because of that, because we want to increase engagement, we want to increase involvement, we are looking for more communication with parents. Now, one of the things is communication has to be consistent. Things have to be very organized. They have to be done in a systematic fashion so that way we can have consistent communication with parents. There are a variety of ways to communicate with parents. Now, what I'm going to share with you is that everything I'm telling you here is based on an article that I wrote, very well-researched article on ways to communicate with parents. Now, the link to that article will be in the description box. In order to follow through with some of the suggestions that I have, it's best to have a calendar and a pencil, because you are gonna need those, because consistency is all about writing, scheduling, and following through with what you set out to do. Even though the article mentions 18 different ways that you can communicate consistently and effectively, I will share just a few here in this video because for the interest of time, I don't like to make my videos too long. But you can definitely take a look at the article once you're done watching the video to get some more ideas, because chances are some of the things I'm suggesting you are already doing at your school site. Idea number one is at the beginning of the year to schedule an evening event each month. So this could be like a fair, it could be a craft event, it could be an open house. Idea number two would be to also schedule a monthly workshop with the parents. And this could be, if possible, once in the morning, once in the evening, because you know some parents work in the morning, some work in the evening. You can even choose to do it on a Saturday morning. Sometimes they could make time to come in. But my suggestion would be to survey them first. Give them some suggestions. Say, of all these topics, which would be most beneficial to you to hear about, and then do the workshop, because what you think they want to hear may not necessarily be what they want to hear. So you want to have the workshops based on what their needs are, what the parents' needs are. My third suggestion is to have advisory meetings and groups, because that way you can have parents involved in them. By participating, they're going to get excited about being more involved in the school. And my recommendation, just like I recommended for the others, is of course to have these planned out. Because schools, there's just so much that's expected of us to do as educators, and there's just not enough time for everything. My suggestion would be to try to do it once a month or once every 2 months, in fact. My next suggestion would be to have just some opportunities for parents to come on site to see their students either performing or to see their students winning award. And then when the parents are there, you have a captive audience. So if there's any announcements, anything specific you want them to know, there's testing coming up that they need strategies for, or maybe your attendance numbers are low and you want the parents to help you address that. Those are things, strategies you could kind of knock out at the beginning of the award ceremony or the performance, or at the end. Most administrators send letters home at the beginning of the school year, and actually teachers do too. They send an email. What I would suggest though is having two forms of communication: email and also mail, because some parents may not check emails as often. Some don't even have emails at all, but others do have. They do look at their mail that they receive. You can, if it's possible to text, you could text, and you can mail or text and email, whatever works, but just use at least two forms of communication. And instead of doing it just once in the beginning of the year, it's best to do it twice. The next strategy has to do with a school website. Once a week update with strategies and useful information that could be impactful for parents. You can even ask the parents that when they find articles, they can share them. And then if you think it'll benefit the other parents, you could share it out. But I think having it, make it an effort every week to put something new on there. And the next strategy is very similar, but it's social media. So it goes hand in hand with the website. I learned about this strategy from a website that I found. Apparently some schools are having a parent be like their lead person for school board meetings. So during every school board meeting, the parent who's assigned goes to the meeting and just talks about the awesome things happening at their site. So that's something you might want to do, but you just have to make sure that you're following up as the educator to make sure that the parent is attending, that the parent is sharing information, the parent is bringing information back. So that's something that you can consider doing, is having a person who could be like a liaison, a parent liaison, and they can communicate information back and forth. One more suggestion for the video. You might want to think about having 4 times a year, schedule in your calendar 4 times a year, when you're going to contact the local newspapers to have them do a write-up on you. For example, if you have a fair coming up, multicultural fair coming up, craft fair coming up, you have anything awesome that's happening, like in maybe one of the classrooms, they're using technology, they're doing coding. If you're scheduling, then it becomes a task and you're crossing it off as you go. So it's going to increase the chances of you doing if you actually set in your planner to get it done. When you see the website article, you'll also see that it has an infographic that with some of the strategies that you can use. And that's what I have for this video. Now, what I forgot to do was at the beginning and at the end of each video, I share a fun fact. So because I didn't share one at the beginning, I'll just go ahead and share 2 here for this video. The first fun fact is that one of my favorite stores to visit is Ann Taylor. My second fun fact is that I'm a big fan of volleyball. I love volleyball, whether it's beach volleyball or indoor volleyball. I've just always been a fan. If you want to get to know more about me, you can visit efficiencyandorganization.com. You can even subscribe there. You could subscribe to this channel. I'd love it if you did that, because I always share information about systems in life, whether it's in your professional or personal life. Anything that's going to help us become more organized, more consistent, more efficient, so we can achieve more. I appreciate you being with me, and I will catch you in my next video.